After a long break from film photography, I've decided to go back to it. Always one for a challenge. I've decided to go the 5x4 route. I did shoot 5x4 film back in the early 90s, but it's been a long break. I just decided to sort of go digital, and slowly the film photography kind of died out for me. I didn't find the sort of need for it. So why film? Why now? With all this kind of digital technology around at the moment, what with software and cameras, the ability to shoot in kind of pitch black conditions and all kinds of things, the ability to merge pictures together. Why on earth would I choose to go back to 5x4 film? I've been asked this question quite a lot recently. For me, I miss that kind of slow process, that methodical approach to photography. It definitely makes you slow down. You go out with, a couple of film holders, maybe just 4 sheets, 8 sheets of film, maybe just 2 sheets of film. But it makes you think more about what you're taking. You've got to get that exposure right. You've got to choose the right picture, the right conditions. It's just it just gets you in that kind of zone, if you like. That's kind of what I miss. But also, I know this sounds a bit mad, but I miss that anticipation of waiting for the results. We're so used nowadays to the picture coming up on the back of the camera, and for me, it's kind of, what with that and social media and the quickness of everything these days, it's taken, it's looked at, it's gone, and then you've forgotten about it. It gets stored on a hard drive, very rarely gets to see the light of day, and you kind of forget about those pictures. But with this film photography, you're producing something tangible, something that you can pick up and hold and look at on a light box. My kind of approach to photography with this new system, it's going to slow me down. It's going to make me think more. It's going to make me produce pictures, hopefully, that will be worth printing, worth sort of looking at and picking up and actually feeling and touching, and to me, it's all about the capture is the main thing. But obviously the results, rather than stored away and forgotten about, I can print them, I can look at them. It's that's what I miss. So that's my reason for getting back into this format. So my recent acquisition. This is a 5x4 camera, but made by a company called Intrepid, the Intrepid camera company. They've been producing these cameras for quite a while now. This is the Mark IV version, I believe. I bought this this year at the photography show. I've been researching these cameras for quite a while now, and each generation that comes out, they tweak bits and pieces, and I will go into more detail in a minute on some of the changes from this one, from the Mark III and the other models as well. And I'll also show you some modifications that I've done as well, just to kind of make it more suitable for myself. But yeah, it's a very, very sturdy camera. It's made from birch ply, like a marine ply. It's been treated, so it's kind of weatherproofed. It's got like a wax on it, and you can see it's quite thick material. The base plates and the uprights on the front standard and rear standard are all quite thick material, and combined with that, you've got the metallic parts as well. This is all anodized aluminium, I believe. So it's all kind of made in-house by the guys at Intrepid. And yeah, it's you'll notice straight away that I haven't got a lens on the front. I'm waiting for a lens to turn up at the moment, but I thought I'd share my initial thoughts on this camera with you while I'm waiting for that lens to turn up. I've got the camera, I've got film, I've got changing bags, I've got all the other bits and pieces that you need, just not the lens. So once that turns up, I will endeavour to produce some pictures, and obviously I'll share these on this channel. So like I say, if you'd like to see my kind of journey with this camera in this format, the plan is I'll go out and shoot frames with this, and do a kind of a film reveal within the same video, and that's the plan. So like I say, subscribe away, click the notification bell, and it'll notify you when I put new videos up. But hopefully within the next couple of weeks I'll be able to produce some new work on this format. Let's have a closer look at the camera, and I'll talk through some of the bits that have been changed and my modifications as well. So let's go through some of the differences with this model compared to the Mark III Intrepid. First and foremost is this base plate. This the old or the previous timber base plate, ply base plate, has been replaced with a metal anodized metal base plate, which I personally find that a lot better. I think it's easier to handle. It's not so cumbersome, not so weighty. And it looks pretty cool as well, so it's very practical. They've kept this central block here, which is where your lens take-up slots are, or inserts, whatever you want to call them. You've now got 4 as opposed to 3. So you've got your front one, which is for your longer lenses, so 240, 300mm lenses. You've got the second one back, which are for sort of 150mm lenses to probably about 210. The next one back again is your sort of 90 range, 90mm, maybe sort of 120, I think. And then you've got another one further back again, which I believe is for sort of 70, 75, even 65mm lenses with a recessed lens board. So yeah, much better there. Similar fast in here. You've got this this little knob here which comes undone. This is actually set within the bar on the front standard now, so it kind of doesn't sort of come out. It's actually fixed in place. Just move it to wherever you want, tighten it up. You've got little zeroing points cut out now on the front standard, so you can line them up. I've actually modified this slightly, which I'll go into in a minute, but just tighten that one up and away you go. The front standard, this is fairly similar. I think it's got the two set knobs here. One is for your rise and fall, and the other one is for the tilt. Those are kind of unchanged, and obviously your lens board comes out in the same way. Lift that little bit up there, take that out with your lens on, clip it in. So that's unchanged. The bellows is pretty similar. It's fixed in the same way. So let's spin the camera around. Now you'll notice one thing that's missing on the Mark IV is rear swing. You've still got the ability to tilt on the back standard, but the swing has gone. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's something that I very rarely used before, so I don't think I'll kind of miss that. Now the rear of the camera and where your film goes, that's pretty similar. They've got the spring clips now, so this works in the same way. You can rotate the back as per the previous models, so that's all pretty similar. Like I said, the only difference really is the emission of the rear swing, which I don't think that's a major problem. So yeah, the overall kind of design, the finish, I know there's been complaints that I've seen on some of the forums and things of the actual finish of the camera, especially the timber. Now, to me, I think the finish has been improved compared to what I've read and seen in the past. These bits where they actually cut out the inserts and things like that for the film holder. The finish has been a lot more finished off. It's actually waxed as well as kind of prepared properly, and the timber's pretty good. It looks quite nice. So yeah, that's the rear of the camera. So let's have a little bit more of an in-depth look at some of the modifications that I've done. Okay, I want to talk a bit more about the modifications that I've made on the camera. I've come up to my little workshop at the moment. I've kind of made these modifications to make it more attuned to myself, the way I shoot. These aren't things that you need to change yourself if you buy one of these, but it's just little things that I've done to make it a bit more user friendly for myself in the field. First one, you'll notice, I didn't talk about this just now, but on the back of the camera you've got the focus knob here, which has gone from the sides 2 separate knobs, one to release, one to actually focus with, to one central knob on the back of the camera. And I think this is a great idea. Makes it a lot easier to use. You can get under the dark cloth and focused away, and it's all there, and you're not fiddling around at the front of the camera. But on saying that, the Intrepid use a threaded bar that goes through the bottom centre of the camera. Now the bar sticks out by probably about just over 10 mil, I think, at the back of the camera. I'll just show you this in close-up. What I've done is I've taken my grinder, my angle grinder, to this threaded bar, and I've taken off about 10 mil off the end of the bar. Now, as you can see now, it's kind of flush with the back, and I've put a felt pad and glued that on the back of the focusing knob. And now I can kind of turn this round now without having to undo any of the knobs. Now, my second addition to the camera, or modification, is I've added some bubble levels, little very inexpensive levels on the basic where the film plane sits. One on the bottom, so if I'm in upright position it gets my level sort of this way. Another one on this side, so if I'm flipped around in the horizontal format, again it gives me my level that way. And if I turn it around there, put another one here just down the base of that sort of base block there, which gives me my level that way. The addition of these just helps, speed things up a bit when you're setting up, especially if you're in low light. It's quite handy to have those to kind of level yourself up. And then my final adaptation, if you like, modification, I've made, I don't know if you can see that there, I've just made a mark for each lens type there on the baseboard. So again, it's more of a speed thing for me really. I can kind of set up, make sure it's dead level, tighten it up, and I'm good to go. And my initial thoughts are pretty good with this camera. I'm just itching to get out and try it now, out in the field. So once this lens turns up, I've got everything else raring to go. So I haven't gone too far into how the movements work and things like that on this video. It's purely just an initial look at the Mark IV. So when I get out in the field, I'll go more into what I'm doing and the actual process of the shoot, right through to the results, hopefully. So I can't wait to get out. So I hope you join me next time. I'll see you soon.